Hey everybody, Chaplain Hobbitle here. It has been quite a week, hasn't it? Lots going on, and we are taking a hard look in the mirror of who we are as a people, as a nation. And it makes me think of how, it's so difficult just on an individual level to look in the mirror and to admit your weakness and your faults and your darkness and your sin. And I think as a nation, we're doing that right now. It is hard as well on a corporate level to look at our dark side as a nation, to look at the ways in which we have been unjust and the ways in which we are now having to face head on. And you can just see the resistance to it, right? I mean, there's just so much resistance. And it's just fascinating the way people are responding. But what should be absolutely clear at this point is that people's experiences of America are quite different, right? And we have to start here. We have to recognize that we all have biases and that we all have a particular way of seeing the world because of our experience and just the ways that we've grown up, the ways we've seen things. And having bias isn't bad. It's just part of being a limited human being. But what's bad is when we fail to recognize them and fail to look at them. And then to begin to think that our bias and our viewpoint is the only viewpoint. Because then that leads to just division and hatred and problems like we're seeing right now. When a massive part of America's population says racism is real and I experience it regularly, it is absolutely crazy for someone who has a different experience to say, well, that's in the past and you should just get over it. As if they have the authority to judge another person's experience. It's just nuts. Even if you don't understand or have a similar experience, the most basic level of empathy would say, I'm going to withhold my judgment and listen to your story, at the very least, and try to understand. Because I don't have the right to judge your experience, right? What makes Jesus the greatest lover in human history is that he has walked in our shoes and he has experienced our humanity and our pain, and he knows what it is to deal with human suffering. And that's what led him to the cross. It's the whole message of the gospel, is that this is what Jesus has done. He has brought us into solidarity with God. And for us to not continue that with our brothers and sisters is to really reject the way that he has shown us. Because that's how you love people. So I think that we have to recognize our biases. We have to realize that just because we don't understand or see another person's perspective and experience, that doesn't mean we're right and they're wrong. It means that maybe there's a way we need to meet in the middle and figure out how to move forward together. Otherwise, we just keep dividing and separating, right? Because we're so glued to our own opinions. So my challenge to you is find somebody whose experience is different than you. Seek out real relationship with them, because it's so easy to just have your opinions and spout them off on social media or to listen to your source of news or whatever, and to just solidify and surround yourself with people who think like you and have experience like you. But to actually go into the world of somebody who is different and who has a different experience, that's where real transformation can actually happen and we can actually come together. So I challenge you, find those people in your world, in your environment who you can connect with and learn from. We need to do this to go forward and to stay unified as one people. So I challenge you to do that. I'm challenged myself to do that as well, and pray that God will take us forward in this.